Gladys is a stuck-up girl, and she knows that what she wants, and she sees herself with she sees herself with a man who is so-called divorced, and she thinks that she can get what she wants just by being with him, and she does. So that's how Gladys is.
And how did you come across this role?
Actually, I don't know how I came across this role when I think about it, because I spoke with the producer, and the producer basically just wanted me to portray someone who could bring something, a spark to the character, and he saw that in me, and I said, okay, I'll play her, and so I did.
As this is one of your first movies, how was it, like, playing Gladys? How was it?
Playing Gladys was something that I saw kind of scary, because I was like, wow, this is not me.
Yeah.
But I loved it because I was like, wow, this is not me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I loved the character, and I loved it, but I was scared of it, but I loved it, and I still loved Gladys, even though me and her had departed.
You could see a bit of yourself in her, could you?
I'm sorry?
Could you see a bit of yourself in her?
To be frank, no. Yeah, maybe. You know what? Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. Gladys is part of me. We go way back. No, I'm just joking. No, but I think that I think every character that I play and every character that I want to do is part of me. I guess I have 5,000 personalities, so I just do that with acting. So yeah, I loved it, and of course I feel as though she's part of it too.
So, Chris, how does it feel that you're finally here now?
Ireland's beautiful. It's a good feeling, you know. Whenever I go to a new place, at the end of the day, it's to take in, you know, the environment. And
okay, so when you say taking, why are you taking the ladies, or?
Well, at the moment, I'm taking in the greenery and a lot of the waterfronts, and you know, but I'm still taking it in and bringing me back to the point, which is the reception has been wonderful so far. So Ireland I'm coming back.
Okay, with your role in a teen song, now everybody follows that. We might not be in Africa, but everybody follows that. So how does it feel working on an ongoing show rather than a movie itself?
It's a lot of hard work. I'll probably start there. First of all, you know, even being here, the fact that I'm here is to support. You know, I'm not in One Night in Vegas, but
yeah,
you know, I've had the opportunity to see a few scenes, and for me, it's about the big picture, which is telling African stories to the rest of the world. And today, if we're doing that in Ireland, that's a big deal.
Okay, if you were to send a message to your fans right now, as someone who just came in Ireland, if you were to tell them what Africa is about, what would you say to them?
I'd say it's a good time to be African. It's a great time to be, because this is the time that everyone is watching out. Hollywood's goldmine is in Africa. And I'm not just saying that, I'm just saying that it's a time where, this is the time where opportunities are perfect. You know, all you need to do is put a little effort into it, and our stories will be told. Our talent would be recognized, and I think that that's basically what's going on as well here.
Chris, first of all, welcome to Ireland.
Thank you.
We're very delighted to have you here as well as Falba, and really thank you so much for coming to Ireland.
Thank you.
How do you define your role? You know, your roles that you do. How do you get into character?
Well, I think that, you know, as a trained actor, I'm privileged to have had, you know, some training, but I find also after a number of years that it comes down to you, the individual, and how you choose to. You know, I've seen actors do all kinds of weird things, you know. Yeah. But as an actor, I always like to say, most of my colleagues would you know, hold a picture up and say, hey, you know, look at me. And I prefer to hold a mirror up and say, hey, look at you. You know, and to be able to get there, I think a lot of research is extremely important for me because I think preparation is the key. You know, the relaxation comes when you're performing.
Yes.
You know.
And is there any current projects besides M.Cisse? Any other current projects that you're doing?
Yeah, well, Tinsel is an ongoing soap
Yes.
that most of you have seen here. I'm glad that you're watching it. I've just finished filming a show on MTV Sugar. Well, the show is called Sugar. It's an MTV show. It's mainly an HIV awareness campaign, and that was a lot of fun. So that's actually on YouTube at the moment.
Okay.
If you were to give some advice to some young African people who are trying to break the entertainment industry, what advice would you give them?
I would say that in a time of opportunity, people need to think about what they're selling. People need to add a bit more content to whatever it is that they're selling out there, because the world is looking, the world is watching. I mean, Lupita, for a lot of us, has been a great example. And if anybody wants to make it, then, you know, I'd say don't wait for it to happen. It's not gonna, Hollywood's not gonna call you, you know. You put it together and you talk to the right agents and you make it happen. So that's pretty much what I'd say to anyone who's venturing.
Okay, what are the challenges that you face when you go to the US or?
For me, you know, I think that the challenges come down to basic challenges that any actor or growing actor will face, you know. The challenge of going out there and performing to people who you're expecting to believe, you know, the performance that you're giving off. So there's the challenge of fear. There's the challenge of, is this even going to get anywhere? You know, am I going to make a difference? There is also the challenge of not properly learning where we're from. I mean, when you're in Africa, a lot of things are done very guerrilla style. Whereas, you know, a lot of actors don't have the right showreel. They don't know how to put themselves together and make themselves more marketable. That's a huge challenge, you know, and that's changing today. And then I would probably say the roles. You know, to get a really good role that you believe in, it's hard. But I think that we're also growing, you know, storytellers and scriptwriters are growing where we're from, and so things are going to get better.
At the moment, Nollywood, you know, is one of the biggest film industries. We even have producers from different countries, you know, moving into Nollywood. So, you know, there is a good aspect.
Indeed.
There is a good aspect.
I like to refer to this as African film because, you know, the world is becoming a little too small for Nollywood or Gollywood, or, you know, they're African stories, and I think that the world is ready to accept and receive them if they're done properly, which is what we're trying to do, which is an example of what One Night in Vegas is trying to do. You know, pick talented actors and put them in the right environment, shoot it properly, and present it to the world.
Chris,
Yes.
being a television host, an actor, and all these other things you do, you're always in the public eye. How do you manage to stay humble and separate yourself from the public life to your personal life?
It's good training. I gotta call my mom and say thank you. Well, it's like they say. I mean, charity begins at home, and it's a crazy industry. So I think that, you know, if you walk through it with your head screwed on right, you know, it helps, and that's something I try to remind myself of every day.
Can I ask all of you three, what was it like working with Kobe Maxwell as the producer? How was he a tough producer? Was he a good director? You know, how was he?
Have you seen Kobe? Have you seen? He is as skinny as that.
Because he's running around all the time.
Yeah. But I personally, the little interaction that I've had with Kobe on both a professional level and on a social level is, you know, I just see yet another like-minded person who is willing to take the risk to be able to make this happen, so that, you know, in a few years from now you can go, oh yeah, we know that film, or, you know, we know that story, and so on and so forth. So Kobe is giving us a great opportunity. I mean, as well as people like Diamond here, you know, who creates the opportunity for us to even be around. Yes. I think that's the kind of person that Kobe and Diamond are. If I can I say that? That doesn't sound right.
Is there any particular African American actors or actresses that might have inspired all three of you at some stage? You know, some that are actually, you know, that have been around for years, that you would say these are the guys that have inspired me to try and get into acting.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I definitely, I grew up watching a lot of Samuel L. Jackson, who I think is an amazing actor.
65.
There you go. Yeah. You know, Samuel has a way of letting himself go, and you just have to watch him. Will Smith, who is also very much into the whole thoughts become things. Exactly. You know, you work at something, you won't get it back. Oh, well, there you go.
I'm just joking.
Motivated you, you know, to get involved with this movie premiere in particular?
Well, I'm a producer, marketing teacher, and so I think apart from being a producer, I think I bring a little bit of the marketing aspect into this, because I think it's an element as well that is missing in some of the work that we do. I always say that the post-production does not end. A project does not end after post-production. It actually sort of begins there, because there's no point doing a great thing and nobody sees it. So I think there has to be a huge marketing budget into it. One of the reasons I founded Africability was because I was really passionate about trying to promote African talent. But obviously it's not just African talent. It's every kind of talent from everywhere in every part of the world, which is why I'm extremely grateful that we have someone like Mr. Reed on board, so that we can begin to go into projects like Diversity Star that brings it up. Exactly.
Some Africans, some Filipinos, some Irish.
Just on the Diversity Star, can you explain a little bit, because that is a project that is based in Ireland that we're all working on for the first time, to bring every different nationalities and different cultures together to work on one show. So
what I believe is that we refer to talent as gifts. What gift means, if you say a gift, it means somebody gifted you something. So if it's a gift, then they gave it to you for a reason.
Yeah.
That's how I view it. I view talent. If it's a gift, so they gave it to you. So, and who gave it to you? My view is, I'm not concerned about how other people see it. For me, my view is that the Lord gave it to you.
Correct.
So, and I think He gave it to you for a reason. And you know, and so you can put it to good use or you can put it to bad use. So I'm really motivated by the fact that we can use that gift and do some greater good. You know, and I'm not the one to define what that good is. I'd like to thank you guys for being here and supporting that effort. Chris has said a lot. It's hard to argue with everything that he said. I totally agree. And I'm grateful to the girls as well for being here and taking the time out from the different projects that they're involved in.
And we're looking forward to seeing them on the runway tonight. On the red carpet.